good tourists, they will drive the bad tourists out of circulation. But for that, you need to create the destinations. A World Heritage Site in the country Poland, there is a place called Wislicka. It's a salt mine. There is nothing great about it. It was a place where salt used to be mined. But if you go today and you were to visit that salt mine, the way they have developed it as a destination, it's 1 hour, it's a half day tour, and you are mesmerized when you come out of there. So I think it is very important for us to put our collective energies together and create one such product. The moment you create one product like this, then you can think of creating other products. So we can start with the Basilica in Old Goa, which is also a World Heritage Site. Why should people be allowed to roam around the Basilica as they feel fit? They should be guided tours so that then people don't end up scribbling things on walls. They understand the value of that heritage. And I think that is the kind of product development that needs to go in. If we create these products, if we develop destinations in this way, you will automatically find there will be a qualitative improvement in the kind of tourists that come to Goa. Secondly, which I personally feel, is that Goa offers ridiculously low rates of alcohol. And I think this is something which requires to be corrected. Especially those people who come on what I call alcohol tourism. It has to be made economically, not feasible for them to power up the car from somewhere in Kolhapur or Bidar or somewhere else and come here only for binging. So this is something where the excise policy of Goa needs to be revised. Of course, there will be some criticism for it also, because it will affect a few people. But if you want to look at the long-term interests of the state, then I think that this is something which requires to be done sooner rather than later.
I would just add to what
you were talking about in Europe, what happens. Last year we took our students to Kerala, and there's one particular heritage site in Kerala that we had taken students there, and what they did was they did not allow them to take bottles, plastic bottles, drinking water. They asked them, they had to leave them out, dump it in the garbage, and if they wanted water, they had to buy a bottle which was much higher priced. When they returned that bottle, they were given the cash back. So that is one way where we can try and eradicate this problem of garbage. I mean, our beaches are dirty. Okay, every time during New Year 31st, it's really bad. Why can't we do something like that? In a way, it is more of trying to tell people as well that, come on, yes, you're coming to see our state, you're coming to visit, but you should also have that sense of responsibility to keep it clean. Okay? And at the college as well, what we do is just to talk about this identity issue which students have a lot of times. One of the first subjects in the term is art and architecture of Goa. And students are supposed to go around appreciating the art and architecture of Goa. So they are taken around, they are asked to go and visit places. So from then on, as an institution, we are trying to inculcate that Goan sense into the students, so that they don't get completely confused of, okay, now what do we do or how do we go about. At the same time, they are also enlightened, or they are also helped in how do we develop business models for the Goan identity, so that the Goan identity is not lost in the whole process. So I think as we are all on similar lines, that yes, we should all focus on the Goan identity and how do we all work together to achieve that and don't lose that out somewhere down the line.
Yes. Meir, would you like to say something?
I thought about Ameya's, which I thought was very interesting, and he talked about guiding the tourists and guiding the visitors who come to Old Goa. That's a topic that I'm focusing on in my research as well. I think at the moment, the last time I went to Old Goa, I saw music, and thankfully I didn't hear, but the tourists were going past, they were taking selfies of parts of the church or in front of the church, and that was the only interaction that they were having with the heritage site. I think a lot more needs to be done to communicate what the heritage site actually means, why it's so important, so that the tourists also understand a little more about the cultural heritage of Goa.
Yes, absolutely true. In fact, I think one of the pains is that we are trying to power new infrastructure when our current infrastructure is in bad shape. Say for example, we are very much involved with the saving of the Kapal Creek. It could be one of the most beautiful tourism centers in Goa. It looks like a mini Venice there. when I went on a boat in stinking garbage though, it had such natural beauty, but no one is even bothered about it. It is really the pride of Panjim. So, are we really talking of misplaced priorities? We are talking of hot air balloons, we are talking of all this fancy ideas. I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, I would not like all those things myself, and I'm not saying no to it, but do something which is in bad shape today. Today, even in the smart city plan of Panjim, Tapal Creek is not even there. It's a 4.5 kilometer waterway which goes straight into Panjim and up to Talegaon. You could have boats there, you could have water tourism, you could have a lot of things. So I think it's a lot of misplaced priorities, trying to do new infrastructure all the time, and the old infrastructure itself is crumbling.
We had a small project funded by the World Bank to see how tourism had affected Goa. And we had done a report. The title was, if I remember right, Tourism and Environment, Issues of Concern in the Coastal Zone of Goa. Now, when we are, what I heard just now, if I compare what we had spoken in that report, mostly in terms of ecosystems, ecosystem and society relationship it was, with the political system in between. Okay? If I compare that, what we had discussed that time and described that time, and the condition today, nothing has changed. Things have got worse. And I can prove every statement of mine. For example, the assault on beaches, on the wetlands, the way today, the state of Mandovi today, where there's not much oxygen left compared to the, things are on a sort of on a decline. So what is the reason for this? Probably one reason is we ourselves, the scientists, we only do research, we don't put it across. We have a colleague of mine right here, probably will try to talk about it. That is one issue. Okay, talking about garbage, what Amay said, that is very true. That's probably our genetic defect. Whenever we see a water body, we throw garbage in it. Okay, now talking about ecosystems and what Ruth said in Europe. I've studied there, I've lived there. I can give you dozens of examples of French beaches. Algarve, for example. The whole Rio Formosa, what we call it, is 150 kilometer long barrier beach system. Tourists go and crowd there. July and August, the Algarve is packed, you cannot walk. But ecosystems are thriving. So why can't it happen here? It's very simple. You don't need big science to preserve a sand dune or to preserve a water body. It's as simple as that. So the fact that it's not happening, in my opinion, we are at fault. Okay? So that is what I would like to put across.
I really have this question as to why the government of Goa doesn't take a stand when it comes to how Goa is being advertised out of Goa. And this is a serious question. In the month of December, I was flying back from Delhi and in AirAsia. And when the flight was about to land, the captain said, we've reached and the temperature is this. And he said, about say 95% of the passengers were tourists coming down to Goa. And you know what, this is what I was shocked at what the captain said. The only thing he said about Goa is, please don't forget to visit the Delton Royal Casino. I was shocked. On flight, is that what Goa is about? I get out of metro station in Delhi and there's a huge billboard over there, Sunburn, Goa. You open up a Delhi newspaper and you see set, sand and sea come to Goa. Why does the government of Goa not take some control over how Goa is being advertised outside Goa? We are in Goa, we really sometimes don't understand how Goa is being projected. And I think this is one very serious issue that the government of Goa needs to take up.
It's not only outside in Goa, the type of advertising takes place in Goa itself. In Goa itself. The moment you come out of an aircraft, the first ad you see is a casino.
But a captain actually...
That is paid advertising. That has to be stopped by governmental action. Straightaway it should be made a law that casinos should not be able to advertise. Like how you cannot advertise cigarettes, as I said earlier. So we have to be strict. This is basically spineless governance. And we can't do much about it. Unless we...
Armand, I don't agree with you. It's not spineless governance. If you want to ban this advertisement, then India will have to become North Korea. Or India will have to become a communist country.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think, see, this is a democracy. See, let's not...
Then we should allow advertising on cigarettes as well.
No.
Or on booze as well.
this is the issue.
Or let's even talk about our brothels for that matter, you know. There is a limit. You cannot go on across the line.
No, this is an issue which requires a wider consensus across society. Also, let us understand that the business of advertising is driven by economics. 2 months back, when we had a similar discussion, when Madam Alina had organized it in Institute Managers Vacanza, there also the same issue was discussed. That why is there a casino advertising the moment you get out of the exam? Because that's a paid slot. Whoever has.
But the thing, government legislation has to handle this thing. What comes with that tourism? We are paying much bigger price. Let's take, for example, Sunburn. People say that, you know, Sunburn is a great festival to have. What has happened with Sunburn? You have 2 days of great crowds, and the rest of the season people are gone. The biggest negative in tourism arrivals was this year. And why? Because family tourists don't want to come. They're so scared by the noise, by the rubbish which is thrown in by Sunburn. Have Sunburn at a different time of the year. No one is saying that you should go. You don't have Sunburn and its competitive festival at the same time in the peak Christmas season, or peak New Year season. So this is where the government is not applying their minds. They're just being blind. They're just being possibly bought over. I really would not know why this goes on happening. Where you know, continuously we have this type of stuff being thrown at our face. I agree with you that advertising and all is allowed, but government is here to legislate what is not good. Like tomorrow we can have prostitution dens. Let's have something like that in Pancham as well. You say that brings in money. So why is government there? Government is there to legislate and to decide what is good for the people. And today the people of Goa are not happy with what's happening in tourism. And I think that is the final arbiter of what we have to look at.
Mr. Abhyandar, I'm not against advertising. Advertise. I mean, but is that all that you have to say about Goa? 95% of the flight is filled with tourists who is coming down, visit Deltin Royale Casino. I mean, is that all you talk about Goa on?
Even if you see the legislation, these casinos are supposed to be offshore, right? But what has the government has allowed them to come inshore? They should be at the 12-kilometer outer limit. That is what the rules say. But the government, maybe it's spineless, has decided to keep them here. We were promised last election, I think Arman and we worked together, we were in the full spring to bring in a government that would really improve. But we have been disappointed badly.
Yes, I think it's time that we speak. It's nothing against a particular government. It's at the end of the day, I'm sure even the current government will be very happy we can save them. Because right now things are going so bad. We have lost our direction completely, and we are heading towards the rocks. I think before we head towards the rocks, we need to find some change.
Regarding legislation, so there are legislation about alcohol not having advertised. So you advertise soda instead of whiskey.
Yes.
There is also legislation about tobacco. You can have the same legislation for casinos. Even if it is commercial, we understand. So those who want to make money, they should think of a better way to advertise there. So not invite people to come and go. I know that you must be doing the same. Many times when I pass the Anand Manohar Mark near the casino and all, you see what the tourists they come, all young IT people and all, with their kids, children, they're all going to the casinos to play is this what we need? Is this?
So that's the point that I was earlier mentioning. Let's see. We need to create products. Like I'll give you an example. You take the Reshmagos Fort. Alright. The Reshmagos Fort is an example of how you can actually develop a good tourism product. It was a fort which has been restored beautifully. If you go today to Reshmagos, you find the same restrictions which Dania talks about. If you go inside with a bottle of water and you throw it over, there are two people who come and tell you, no, that's not done. You've got to pick it up and throw it in the dustbin. So I think you have already a property like Reshmagos which has been so beautifully developed, which houses works of Mario Miranda, and a lot of people visit there during peak season. I mean, it gets almost around 1,500 to 2,000 visitors a day if in the months of November through April, March. So I think the crux of the matter here is that we need to develop good tourism destinations. When we talk about beaches, see, if you take outbound travel trends from any destination around Europe, North America, short haul, long haul, you find people do come to Goa for beaches. Now, when you talk of coming to Goa for beaches, what is it that we should be working on? We should be working on ISO beach standards. We should be working on blue flag certifications. This ensures what Dr. Mascarenhas was talking about.